What's all the PMS with Coach G? It's positively motivating sisters with purpose, meaning, style. Are you ready for positive conversations inspiring you to your next level? Do you need motivation to get you growing? Are you a sister, woman, leader, boss, mom, wife, female, her, she? I think you know what I mean. Are you seeking purpose in your life? Do you know the meaning for which you stand? Do you know your style is your unique authenticator? If you answered yes to any one of these questions, this podcast is designed with you in mind, which embodies the whole you, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, and spiritually. Sisters, we are on a journey in connecting you from where you are to your what's next with purpose, meaning, style, and it all starts with you. Hi, this is Coach G. Think of me as your chief PMS cheerleader, motivating and wanting to see you win in your personal and professional life. Your connector, guiding you and bridging the gap from where you are to your what's next. I am your growth coach strategist, empowerment speaker. I'm a Christian, wife, mom. Hey, I get to serve you in doing what I'm passionate about, and that's you. Sisters, we are on a journey for you living your life on purpose, for purpose, with purpose, meaning, style. Now, we are graced today with a special guest. Her name is Wini Alexander, a motivational influencer, woman of impact, and a woman of purpose. She is founder and CEO of My7Words. That's the number seven. She is a certified professional life coach, facilitator, consultant, and speaker with 15 plus years of experience and a diverse broad based background in training, consulting, mentoring, and leadership. Winnie's platform, my7words.com, is built on the foundation of setting women up for success. Her mission to inspire, transform, and
Absolutely.
encourage women to live their best professional life. When you ask Winnie about her love for coaching, her goal is simple. Winnie invites you into the heart of transformation by creating a connection to your passion, your purpose, and your unlimited potential through professional development. So, welcome and thank you, Winnie, for sharing this platform with me today.
Thank you, Dr. or actually Coach G.
Hey, you speaking some stuff into
I know,
existence. I
right?
love that.
I'm elevating you already.
You're taking me to a whole nother level, and I love it.
Mhm.
You know what? I have to say this. We are alive, your heart is pumping, and things are transforming as we speak. And so I'm
Absolutely.
just so grateful that you are here. I'm grateful for our listeners. And I believe that, we are getting ready to share some love, and spreading the word and helping people understand what that means, the heart of transformation. So we are in episode 49.
Okay.
And of course, I hadn't said the topic, but the topic today is the heart of transformation.
Yeah.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
let's get into this. I love it. So, if we think about it, if we think about the um the process of transformation, the beauty of transformation, we often love the result. We love the what we see after something has transformed, but not necessarily the process of
Yeah.
what transformation involves.
True.
And so there's a quote by Maya Angelou that I want to quote, and she states, "We delight in the beauty of a butterfly,
Mhm.
but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty."
Absolutely.
So again, we talk about transformation involves processes. So Winnie, share with us, when we talk about those processes, would you um tell us, that woman seeking to grow in her professional life,
Mhm.
what does that, heart of transformation looks like?
So, actually, I kind of define transformation as going beyond your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
building faith in yourself for yourself. So the process that I would say, first of all, team up with a professional development coach.
Mm,
That coach can help you set goals. You can also find a mentor if you prefer to have that. The coach also helps you improve your transferable skills, um, helps you to understand what self advocacy is. Um, Also, brush up on your soft skills, your professional development skills like communication and time management and self care, which is huge, especially for professional women. We
Yes.
tend to wear our S on our chest and think that we can conquer everything and everybody all the time.
Mhm.
And that
Yes.
doesn't always end positively, I should
And
say.
that's real talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm a big advocator of helping professional women, um, learn self-care and just sort of make them aware of it. I think it's more of awareness as opposed of learning. We know about it, but we're not always aware of it.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
when you talk about self-care, man, I have to piggyback a little bit because in 2022, I did a countdown
Mhm.
and it was based on, the top five, what listeners, were listening to, what they said was important. And you know what number one was? Self-care.
Mhm.
Self-care. And I took it to heart because based on the listeners, okay, that's what you're interested in, or maybe that's where you are on your journey, or maybe that's what you're seeking more awareness of, or what can I do, or how can I do that. And so when you talk about that part of self-care, that's that for 2022, that was at the top of the list. So that was just then, not too long ago, right? I
Right.
mean, we're only like 2 months now. We're in February now, but the thing is that I'm sure it still is, because you said
Yes.
as women professionals, it's something that, man, even as women professionals, even as mothers, just leaders in your home, a lot of times, you said it, we walk around with that S on our chest,
We
thinking we
do.
have to be superwoman, supercharged, super, super, super all the time. And we
Yes.
forget that other S word, self,
Yes.
self-care.
Yes.
I always say, if you don't give yourself, and I always talk about filling your cup first, if you don't do
Mhm.
that for you, how are you really good for someone else,
You
or at
can.
the fullest of yourself?
Exactly. And
you
one of
know
my current sayings, and you hear this when you fly all the time, put your mask on first.
there you go.
That's my tagline, put your mask on first, because we as women don't put our mask on. We want to help everyone else.
Mhm.
And then we're left without the energy to do the things that we need to do.
Right. So can you take us through, maybe I'm gonna say it this way, but correct me, or where I may be incorrect or whatever, because I'm
Okay.
always open for improvement. And but if we talk about you taking us through that process of what the heart of transformation looks like, or what that is, because it's a process. It's a process. But can you give us a, as you speak to us, as if someone is listening,
Mhm.
give them that visual picture of what that involves?
Right, right. So as you know, coaching, when you do coaching, it is the now and the future. So we don't go back into what happened to your past, but it's the present and the future. So one of the things that I think is extremely important is sitting down with the client and finding out what their goals are, their short-term goals, their long-term goals, because you have to start somewhere. And so where is it that you see you're going? How do you see yourself? When do you think you'll reach that? What things you need to do in order to reach those goals? So that's a huge step, and that's the beginning of that process. During that time, you're going to have losses, you're going to have wins, but we celebrate the wins all along, even the small ones. It doesn't have to be this huge breakthrough and now we're going to throw a party. No, even small wins. Guess what? I got my time management under control. Yes. that's a win.
Yes, I love talking about wins.
Yes, yes. I was able to improve my communication. My staff laughed. They were having a good time. We had a really positive meeting. Sometimes you don't always have to just walk that thin line. You can just sort of let go and be your authentic self. And it's okay. I find that sometimes we feel like we don't have permission to talk as professional women in that space, that are, especially as women of color. We think that, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this or I shouldn't say that. They'll look at me differently. You have to be intentional about everything that you do, and you have to walk in your purpose. And that's what it's all about.
And you know what?
Finding your passion and your purpose.
And that is a foundation of what you actually portray in your business, where you're saying that woman, for you to walk in your passion and your purpose, which
Absolutely.
clearly is something, as coaches, you want that person to, because that's where you're most fulfilled.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yeah.
where, that's when you start setting intentional things in your life. You just said that part of being intentional,
Yeah.
actually being intentional in how you do something, why you do something,
Yes.
and understanding that, you know, I was sharing with Winnie before we even got on the call, before we started the recording, and I was sharing with her some just as simple as my energy. I was like, man, my energy was getting a little low, and I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, it's a little later in the day, um and everything, but at the same time, when we got on the call, it's like I was just re-energized.
Yes. Yes.
And for me, that identified and that made me aware of my passion,
Mhm.
how no matter what I felt or how I felt, something reignited inside of me because I'm passionate about this. What else? I'm passionate about you. And so
Yeah.
when we talk about things that can help you in your professional life, in your personal life, man, it's like, and then being able to collaborate with someone else to talk about those things that can help you improve in your day to day, for you to evolve and
Yes.
grow.
Yes.
And from, you said, when you sit with a client, you talk about, okay, let's see where you are. Well, we first
Right.
have to identify where we are before we know,
Exactly.
okay, no, we can't get to California with, we're here in, I'm gonna say Florida. Okay, I'm in Florida, but I'm not talking about Florida. I'm talking about California. Well, from Florida to California, something has to happen.
Yes.
There's some transferring and some transformation
Mhm.
happening,
Yes. Yes.
from
Absolutely.
Florida to California.
Yes.
So, Winnie, I know, I'm gonna say this. This may be a little off track, but
Okay.
you know, I want to talk about your title, My 7 Words, your business name. And I just want you to, because I just thought it was, for me, when if you could see what I see,
Mhm.
then it would ignite something in you, because I see, she said it's my 7 words, but I can also probably be right when I say those 7 words are a foundation of value of what you bring into your business, because it
It
is a
is. And
part
think,
of you. And so
yes,
I
thank
want you to,
you.
just kind of briefly tell us a little bit about that, because I think that's still a part of the heart. It's a part of what makes your heart beat, what makes you passionate about what you do, and the
Thank
changes you
you.
have to go through to get to what you're
Yeah.
doing. So just talk a little bit about that for us.
Sure, 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 sure. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to say 15 years ago. And I was working actually in the airports up and down the East Coast. And I was facilitating customer service classes. And so I kind of oversaw the customer service program in 6 different airports. So I was in Miami, which was one of my airports. And just thinking about my life at that time, and I fell asleep. Well, as I was kind of in that sleep wake moment, I heard my 7 words. I was like, my
Mhm.
7 words, my 7 words. And it was like, it, and all of a sudden, this is what you're going to do. You're going to meet women where they are. You're going to encourage, you're going to motivate, you're going to help them through, their situations. You're going to empower. And I was like, wow. So I woke up completely, wrote it all down. And I was like, yes, okay, let me figure out, I'm going to need a website, and I'm going to need an EIN, and I'm going to need this. So I think I got my EIN at that same day. Um, but then it ended up on the shelf, because what I didn't know, there were still things that I needed to go through in order to fulfill my destiny. I'm a breast cancer survivor, so hence the word survivor. I've
Glory to
been through a
God.
lot in my life, divorce, a death of a spouse. Um, I said the cancer, I've lost a home, I've lost my cars, I've just a lot of life trauma, childhood
Mhm.
trauma, a lot of life things. And so I had forgotten about my 7 words until last year. This was around end of August, first part of September.
Wow.
And I was like, I got to do something else with my life. I want to go into maybe coaching. I think I'd be really, good at this. And all of a sudden, my 7 words came back into my mind and
Wow.
spirit. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I remember that. So I was cleaning up some papers, and lo and behold, I ran across the paper where I had written this down. And it was a part of my goals for that year, was to start a website, a coaching business, the name my7words.com.
Yeah.
So that's how that all came to be. And I knew, when I look back now and look over my life, I knew that I would not have been successful if I started back then. But I had to go through the things that I went through in order to be able to relate to other women
Yeah.
who might be in the same circumstances that I was in throughout those 10, 15 years.
Yeah. And to have the heart in what you do. I keep talking
Yes.
about that heart and that transformation.
Yes.
You go back and you said 15 years ago.
Mhm.
But when it came to you, that vision, that awakening, you wrote it down, which
Yes.
reminds me, write the vision,
You
you know.
got it.
And though it may tarry, so in other words, it might linger, sit on a
Mhm.
shelf. There you go. Sit on the shelf for a minute,
Yes.
but it will surely come to pass. And
Yes.
so here you are, and you said, okay, you know, a year ago, here I am. So I
Mhm.
think if someone's listening to that, they're just to hear, first of all, you were awakened with something that spoke into you.
Yes.
You wrote the vision. You
Mhm.
went through the processes of life,
The
to prepare
transformation.
you
Mhm.
for where you are now. And
Yes.
does the transformation stop? No. Does the changes
Nope.
stop? No. You
Mhm.
continue to, on your journey to, grow through those things.
Yes.
So, you show the process, and you said even through all of that, you went through as a breast cancer survivor, which I say glory to God.
Yes.
You went through divorce, you went through death of a spouse, all those things you went through, which one, that's one of her 7 words, survivor, you
You
know.
got it. Strong.
Oh, right, right. And I was gonna add that strong to it too, because when you were talking, I was thinking strong
Yeah.
survivor.
Yeah. You don't know until you're in it.
And so many powerful experiences that created that powerful vision that
Mm,
manifested the power in what you want to bring and how you want to serve, and the
absolutely.
heart, of of you saying to that person, that woman, that
Mhm.
client,
Mhm.
hey, I care about this journey with you. I'm
Yes,
walking through this with you. So
absolutely.
we're going to thank you so much, Winnie. Thank
Oh,
you that.
Thank you.
So we are coming to a close.
Uh-huh.
And when we do that, I always talk about, you got to give us, you get, I'm not gonna say you got, you get, because there is power in saying get to instead of I got to. No, you get,
Right. I
because
get.
you've been empowered to
Yes,
do so.
ma'am.
So anyway, PMS tip. I want you, because when I think of my 7 words, and it's a word, I want
Mhm.
you to give us a PMS tip as a word, that what that one word would be that you would offer to other girls and women as they enter, you know into their heart of transformation, or through that heart of transformation. What would that one word you would give to, to the women?
Authentic.
Okay.
You want me
Authentic.
to elaborate?
Yes, I would. You know what, I'm getting ready to say, okay, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Sure. Sometimes we get lost in the sauce,
Mm,
as they say.
lost
And
in the sauce, I like that.
and we conform to what other people's expectations of us should be. And
Mm,
we're all made different and we're wonderfully and uniquely made.
yes,
So I think it's really important to be your authentic self.
yes. I,
Come with authenticity. Are we perfect? No way.
right.
Are we a work in progress? Absolutely. But at the
Yes.
core, who are we?
Yeah. And that's the real beauty of the transformation or
Yes.
process that we go through when we
Yes.
show up authentically and not trying to put
Mhm.
on a different face that you don't even recognize.
Yes.
So oh my goodness, that, thank you. We want, she said, she gave us a one word, and that one word was authenticity.
Mhm.
Show up as your authentic self.
Yes.
And so now here we are, always, there's always that invitation to connect with, guests on the show. You can connect with Winnie at it's the number 7 words, on LinkedIn. You can connect to her through her website, learn more about her, what she do, who she is. And you can go to her website at my number 7 words with an S.com. And of course, you can see all of that in the show description. And, I want to say this. Recently, I was in a workshop, and, one of the common responses that continued to come up was people needing that guidance, and setting things in motion. And hey, I'm in this place, I don't know my purpose, I don't know my passion, I don't know my why, or I don't know where to start, or
Exactly.
going from where you are, just like what you talked about in the beginning, going
Mhm.
from where you are
Mhm.
to where you desire to be, and or what I
Yeah.
call your what's next, because it's a journey, it's a
Right.
process. And if we think about, oh, just where I want to be, you could get discouraged because you feel like, man, I'm not getting. But if you think about the what's next, just like earlier you said, celebrating the small wins.
Oh, yes.
See, because we look at the big picture and we forget the small things, and it's the little small things that add up to that great thing that you accomplish.
Absolutely.
So going into that what's next, and often, that was what was coming up. And
Mhm.
something that also was a common response was, get you a coach, hire
Mhm.
you a coach.
Hire a coach.
You probably listening and said, well, Coach G, you're a coach and Winnie's a coach. That's right. But someone is right for you. That's
Exactly.
how you get to know the person. What is their foundation? What do they stand for? Okay, just like you have all the different breads in the store, Mrs.
Mhm.
Barrett's maybe yours, Sarah Lee maybe yours, but I tell you what, it's something for everybody. So there is no competition, it's collaboration.
Exactly.
And so we come and we
Yes.
collaborate, and that's that part of connecting. Connect with us. We're here to offer those services to you. Of course, just like going to, my7words.com, you have gstylecoaching.com. But we all want the best for you, and that first thing is taking care of you. What does that mean? What does that involve? She talked about that is one of her strongest, I'm going to say the thing most passionate about your self-care.
Mhm.
So right there, it's like, okay, someone that's going to help me get to my goals, but help me make sure that I take care of myself along the way,
Yes.
and so that right there is something to consider.
Mhm.
So thank you so much, Winnie. Is it anything you want to say before I close out?
I just want to say thank you, Coach G, for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it. And to the audience, my7words.com, we're here for you. So
Well,
thank you.
thank you, Winnie. Thank you so much. I thank you so much for your time, and I thank you
Yes,
so much for you sharing, a little bit about your story to empower another woman's journey.
absolutely.
And so, in the meantime, sisters, share the podcast, comment, subscribe, rate, follow. Let's keep growing. Let's keep expanding. Let's keep sharing the love, because that's what we're doing. We're sharing the love. And in saying all of that, until next time, sisters, let's keep growing, because it all starts with you.